Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do this flat, and I'm really nervous about it because it's just not how I normally sketch out my pictures, but we'll do the best we can. And I do know there's a little bit of a glare on her. I'm sorry about that. This painting or photograph here is Luca Hollistel. She is a beautiful model. And I just want to make sure I save this on my Pinterest board so that I can include this in our supply list. But so what I'm going to do is I am going to start by drawing the circle on her face. And if I can follow with my pencil here and see where that circle is, okay? So basically what I'll do here is I'll start with, you know, a circle. Which may or may not be exactly the same size as her face, which is fine. So I see this circle here. Actually think I want that to be a little bit bigger. I go back and erase later. Okay, I realize that the angle may not be really great on this. This is kind of uncomfortable for me because this is not usually how I sketch. I normally sketch sitting at a table with my Padlet kind of tilted or in bed. So when I'm painting, yes, I do it this way, but when I'm doing pencil, I don't. And so I don't really like how this is set up. So bear with me, and I'm gonna see if I can get this. I just sketched this girl yesterday, and I'm very, very pleased with the result, but I also sat at the table and did it. And so I just don't know how this is going to end up. So basically what I'm doing is drawing, you know, where I see the circle on her face. And a 3/4 turn is can be a lot of different angles really, but it's where you see, you know, 3/4 of the face and the other quarter is kind of not face on. Okay, so there's kind of a circle right here for her nose. And then that comes up. Let's see a little bit of a nostril over here. And my son is coming home. I hope he'll be able to be quiet for a little while. Okay, and then we've got, so if we look at the eyes, we've got the eyes right about here. You can see they follow a line, and the line is at a slight angle, but you'll notice that the mouth and the eyes and the nose, that angle all matches up. So if my angle is off, it's going to be because of the way that I am sitting here, and I'm going to do my best to get that correct. But you're going to get the idea of what it is that we're doing through this lesson. Okay, so right now I need my nose and my eyes and my mouth to all line up. It's just a real slight angle. Okay, so I'm going to do that. My nose. Be kind of like that. And then the mouth. Okay. And so now I'm just going to start working on, you know, where different things will go on the face. So top of the eyes. Just right at the top of that. So the eyes are going to be kind of right in there. I feel like her nose maybe is too long, but okay, I had to change my seating arrangement because it wasn't working out. So now I'm at an angle, and I know you cannot see the picture that I'm drawing, but that's okay. I'm going to, you have it for reference so you can look at it too. Okay, so I am continuing to draw her, and I have my little table easel here, which is great. So helps me just to get at a better angle while I'm drawing, I think. Okay, and yes, this is much, much, much better. Because now I can see the angle that the face should be at. And you know, you don't have to worry if it's exact or I already know that that is probably a little too short. I changed everything around and now I don't know where I put anything. Can't find any of my erasers. All right. Now what I notice I'm doing is now I've got the angle going that way though instead of this way. So I do need to make sure that this nostril is not being dragged down there. Okay, so I want that. Same with the mouth. So here's my line for the mouth. So I need my nose to also go in that same, okay, there's my line for the nose. So I see that the nose comes down here. Okay, and then this part over here, all right, better. Okay, and then I've got this part here, comes down, and so we want to follow that line. So you're going to see more of this side of the lip and less of that side because of the angle of the face. And then I can see that this needs to come down. So now I've got that. I feel like this part of the nose needs to come down. A lot of adjusting and fine-tuning. So it kind of comes. Okay. Still don't feel like that is quite right, but do I have the angle going the wrong way? Oh well, let's keep going forward. So the eye over here starts very close. I can tell you right now there's going to be a lot of adjusting on this face. There's going to be a lot of tweaking. There's the brow bone that goes out a little bit. Cheekbone. It's not right about there. Getting that eyebrow in there. Okay, so you can see that her face is starting to take shape. I feel like this area over here is too far. See if I can do a little measuring here. If I measure this, measure her nose, look at her nose. So her nose and this area, this should be in a little bit. It's a little too wide. So I'm going to, her eye's probably a little too big. So I am going to, that shouldn't be, okay, so just making those adjustments there. And I will still be in the same place, just going to be a little bit smaller now. Which should be a little bit smaller than this side anyway, because we're not seeing it straight on. My hand's getting tired holding this. It's much easier to do this when I'm not filming. But for the sake of the lesson, I gotta do it. All right. So now I'm going to just I want to look at her, look at them for a minute side by side. See if I can tilt this up a little bit. I know you're not going to be able to see that super great. That's okay. I'll put it back in just a minute, but I just want to look at her, look at these two side by side if I can. And All right. So I can tell too, need to have okay, and then got this. I think that this actually is more like that. Okay, so just really trying to, like I said, this is I'm not really always used to sketching like this. And for me, paint, I can like adjust over time, but pencil, I really like to try to get it as accurate as possible. Okay, and then I see that her ear is right where her nose, it's going to be right about here. This is her shoulder. She's looking over it. Oh, my arm is tired. Okay. Gonna get some hair in here. Can't really see what's happening with her hair, but I see it's kind of going up. All right, so I'm going to erase some of these lines in here. And now what I'm going to start doing is, going to start shading her in. And in order to do that, I will start with my 2H, and then I'll move in with my my 2B. I'm just going to use 2H and 2B this time, and I will be switching back and forth between the two. So I just really lightly start filling stuff in. I can see there's just a little bit of white on each eye, and the rest is really pretty dark, but I can see that there's a pupil there. and there, which helps us to know which direction she's looking in. I think her face is too wide right here, and I think that this goes up at more of an angle.